Hey, what is happening? This is Linus, you're watching TechLion, and in this video I wanted to talk about my new favorite budget camera monitor that is made by Andycine. This is the Andycine X7S, and I love this monitor because of its all-metal build, great display quality, and plenty of video assist features. Let's take a look. I like the fact that the monitor ships with a nice travel case, so you don't need to buy it separately. Inside of it you get some paperwork, SDI cable, D-tap and the power cable, which are nice extras by the manufacturer. However, there is no HDMI cable, which is a bit of a letdown, but it's not a big deal for me as I have plenty of them. Just before we start, this is the review of the Andycine X7S that has both HDMI and SDI in and out ports, and it costs about $390. There is a cheaper $299 model, which is identical to this one, but it has only HDMI input and output. I will leave a few product links down below the video if you're interested. I've used a lot of budget camera monitors over time and most of them were pretty good, but there was one major area that disappointed me: the choice of materials. For example, the Fieldworld Master MA7U is an awesome monitor, but it's made completely out of plastic. The Andycine X7S is made out of solid aluminum and it screams quality. The monitor is sturdy, well constructed, and it feels very premium. This is easily the best budget monitor I've ever used in terms of build quality. Also, metal housing helps with heat dissipation. If you use the monitor for an hour or so, it will get pretty warm, but it never got too hot to the touch. After using the monitor for quite some time, it still looks as new, and I'm sure it will hold up very well over time. The X7S is one of the best in this price range when it comes to the screen sharpness and color accuracy. In fact, this might be the most color accurate budget monitor I've used to date. You can also match your camera's monitor colors manually, but the color temperature looks quite close to what my Sony a7 III screen shows, so I didn't need to do any calibration. I just started using the monitor out of the box. Another key selling point: whopping 2200 nits of brightness. I have to say that I had zero issues seeing the monitor outdoors even on the sunniest days. In fact, I even reduced the brightness setting to save battery and I could still see it even under direct sunlight. Obviously, there are plenty of display customization options in the settings menu. A super important feature: there is no visible latency, which is common to other budget monitors. On the other hand, latency is usually caused by some cheaper cameras. For example, the monitor has been working absolutely fine with my Sony a7 III and the Panasonic GH5S. On the top we have three programmable keys: power, mode, navigation, and menu buttons. For example, other budget monitors I've tested like the Fieldworld Master MA7U have only two programmable keys. All the ports are located on the bottom, which is not only convenient, but it also gives the monitor a nice clean look. There are both HDMI and SDI in and out ports, which give you a lot of versatility to use this monitor with a lot of different cameras. There's also a DC in port if you want to use the monitor from the mains power. Further, you can power up your camera using the DC out port, but you will need to buy a cable with a dummy battery separately. I bought one a few years ago and it works fine with my Sony a6300, which, as you know, has terrible battery life. A headphone port provides pretty good sound quality with no interference or latency. On the left you can find USB upgrade port and a 1/4-inch thread for accessories. There is another thread on the right side and on the bottom. If Andycine had implemented another thread on the top of the monitor, it would have been nice, so I could mount a tiny LED light or a microphone. The X7S has a built-in loudspeaker, which is probably the best I've heard on any budget camera monitor. While I wouldn't rely on it for sound monitoring, it's a really convenient feature to have if you forget your headphones or you want to play the clip to the group of people. Here is a quick audio sample.
As always, like the video if you liked it, please drop me a comment down below if you have any questions, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching, and see you soon.
The monitor ships with a Sony NPF style battery plate, but you can always attach other types of battery plates. Battery life depends on the battery size you choose and the brightness output. I mostly used NP750 batteries and I would say that they last at least a few hours on a single charge. Another key aspect, the monitor does not drain a lot of power while in standby mode like some previous generation monitors. Now let's talk about the menu system or user interface. While it's not as intuitive as you might expect, it's pretty easy to understand and operate as I got used to it in just a couple of days. You can select from quite a few picture modes and adjust other display settings to your liking. As I've mentioned before, I found the standard setting to be quite good out of the box if you don't have a lot of time for calibration. There are also quite a few settings to play with. Further, there are a lot of assist features including center marker, save frames, image freeze, image flip, anamorphic, histogram, false colors, focus peaking, audio meters, and so on and so forth. I'm really impressed with the overall feature set considering the price of the monitor. Finally, you have a customizable function 1, 2, and function 3 keys. I use them for focus peaking, 9 grid, and zoom. So we've come to the conclusion part and I wanted to summarize all the pros and cons of this Andycine monitor. So first of all, there are a lot of pros. This Andycine monitor has excellent build, all metal construction, and I also love great display which is nice and sharp and you can easily see it outdoors thanks to 2200 nits of brightness. Also, I love the display quality because of its good color accuracy, and I didn't even need to calibrate it because it was pretty much color accurate out of the box. In addition to this, there are plenty of video assist features, customization options, and settings to play with. Further, this monitor has surprisingly good loudspeaker, and there is DC out port to power up your camera. Now a few cons. Surprisingly, there is no HDMI cable in the retail packaging, which is not a big deal for me, but it would be nice to have this accessory in the box. Another little con is that I wish this monitor had a 1/4 inch thread on the top of the device so we can mount an LED light or a microphone. Despite a few minor complaints, I still think that the Andycine X7S is one of the best budget camera monitors for the price because of its all-metal build, great display quality, and a lot other great features. If you're interested in picking one up, you'll find all the links down below the video, and tell me in the comment section down below which camera monitor if you use any camera monitors, which camera do you use, and if you like this Andycine device. As always, like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, drop me a comment down below if you have any questions, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.